Love to
and
see
get him
those.
right. Ain't nothing like a nice haircut on a young dude. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's
You look
facts.
like $1 million.
Looking like $1 million, and then
It's,
they be so happy and
man,
just smiling.
man, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Hey, look, y'all, this is family when we get on this radio, y'all. So we always got to do our thing. And
Ketchup.
I catch up. Yeah, man. And I'm
No
all
mustard.
no mustard. Look at you. That's old school.
That's so old
Kim done
school.
took it back, y'all. It's the beauty of the show, y'all. And again, my name is Anthony Taylor with the City of Minneapolis. Welcome to Minneapolis 360 with my girl, Graham Life Kim, riding shotgun as always, every second and fourth Wednesday of the month to be able to give you this information. Hopefully, you'll be able to use it, y'all. And I always start out with kind of saying some things, and Kim touched on it too. There's so much things to do in this city, y'all. Please, please get your information somewhere and be a part of it. Like, you cannot ever go wrong with the stuff that's happening in this city. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. The weather is just amazing. And I walked around today for a little bit, and people's attitude is just beautiful. So, like, continue that vibe, continue that movement. One of the things that was real interesting to me, excuse me, y'all, was yesterday I had a chance to go to George Floyd visiting session yesterday, and it was a really beautiful thing there,
Was it?
Kim. Yeah, like there was a lot of people, a lot of good conversation,
Wow.
figuring out what they want that intersection to look like, y'all. So if you have any vested interest in this city, in that area, like, tune in, tap
Yes.
into those conversations, because you can get your voice heard about what you want that space to look like. And I'm like, listen, it's been 4 years since this brother passed, right? And we still talking
So
about the
fast.
time goes so fast, and we just celebrated his life a couple months ago, but his legacy will be forever,
Ever.
And in this city, man, we got to be able to have a voice to know what we want to have that intersection. So when I
Right.
talk about these things, Minneapolis, write this stuff down, get your phone out, man, and do it, because the best thing in the world is to be able to activate and then have your voice heard in community, y'all. So listen, I'm gonna get straight into our guest. There's a couple updates that I'll give later, but I think this show to me is really, really important, because what we are talking about is art, and we're talking about community. And the biggest thing I think is important, that we have a bunch of local artists here that are brilliant. Like you go
Yes.
around and
We
you
got
see
some
some of the work,
talent.
Kim, it's just talented.
Oh.
And they do it with such ease, you know what I'm saying? And I struggle to make a stick person, you know what I'm saying? We got these people making beautiful art. And if you ever, especially go around George Floyd Square, you will see some of the beautiful, amazing art in our city. So this show is dedicated to all those art folks, those creative, brilliant people with minds that want to do some good work in community. I got a person on here from the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs, Meena Mangalvedhekar. How did I do, Meena? Come on, we practiced it. Did I do
Hey,
okay?
Meena.
You did good. Thanks for having me here.
Okay.
You can just call me Meena.
That's what I planned on doing. Like, you got such a beautiful name, and I wanted to make sure I honored that, and I did practice. So, hey, tell us about what you do for the city. This is a really good topic, and I'm glad you're here. We're talking about arts and community, right? Tell us what you do for the city, Meena.
Yeah, so I am a program manager with City of Minneapolis for Arts and Cultural Affairs Department. And my role is to really connect, the art efforts put by the department with the community. And yeah, I mean, I'm here to talk more about our programs, but a little bit about myself is that I have experience in arts administration. I see, younger artists want to, learn more about how to become a project manager or program manager. So I'm always, helping the young talent, outside of my current job. And I am originally from India. I have been living in this beautiful city for over a decade, and I agree with everything you said earlier. We have the best summers, and we have the most beautiful winters. That's what, and we have arts and culture. So that's what people like me are looking for, and we make this our new home.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. We were just talking about vacation spots, and you might have moved that up my bucket list already. The most beautiful summers and winters. And one of the things I think is important, and you're here to talk about a lot, and I'll get kind of to it a little bit, but just talk a little bit, man. I'd love to just hear you talk about your Poet Laureate program. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, I can give a little bit of information. So, Poet Laureate program, which is the inaugural program by our department, it appoints a poet to represent the city and to promote the richness and the vibrancy of our literary traditions. So, currently in this year, we have poet Hyde Erdrich, as our poet laureate. And there are some programs being held at the Loft Literary Center. The next program is coming up in December, and I'll make sure to send you some information. For the next year, 2025, we will be announcing that program very soon.
And one of the things I really want you to talk about, there's probably so many different opportunities and processes for folks who are really creative. They want to do some art in this city. Talk about like what opportunities are available now. I know there's a really big one, and I'd love for you to talk about.
Yes. As I mentioned, we are Arts and Cultural Affairs Department. Some people may have heard about Office of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy. That used to be a small office within city, in January 23, we became a new department. So we are the newest department, and we provide different programs. So the most known program is the Public Art program, but right now we are promoting Cultural Districts Arts Fund. So this is a new initiative to provide local artists, creative entrepreneurs, arts advocates, or any organization or business or individuals who are working in arts and cultural services. So we are providing community building opportunities through a series of awards. So really, think of if you are working in arts and culture in any capacity, you can partner with cultural districts residents, people who work there, artists, entrepreneurs, businesses from those areas, as well as institutions who are housed in one of the cultural districts. You can also work with neighborhood councils, or you can be the neighborhood council who is applying, and as well as other levels of government, who are thinking of different ways, very innovative ways to elevate the district's cultural and linguistic identity. And also, we are here to provide flexible response to all the efforts that are already undergoing in the cultural district. So we have 7 different cultural districts, and I can, give a quick list. So they are East Lake Street, Franklin Avenue East, 30th Street. So that would be 38th and Chicago, where George Floyd Square is, and surrounding area. There is Cedar Avenue South and Central Avenue, which is in the Northeast area, and Lowry Avenue North, and then connecting up north, we have West Broadway Cultural District. And you can look at the designated district area on our website. It is on the city website, you can look up our department's page. But also think of, the geographically concentrated area of different languages being spoken in those districts. So, for this particular program, we are looking at these districts very holistically. So everything that you see on the map of the cultural district plus 5 block radius, that's where the cultural concentration is. So as long as, the applicant is creating activations or activities in those areas, we will be, interested in receiving their application.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. Go ahead.
Yes, so the Cultural Districts Art Fund, will provide support to develop and as well as support the economic climate that sustains and nourishes local businesses. So with that, although we are Arts and Cultural Affairs Department, We are here to, through this program, we really want to provide benefits to the community and the people who live in the community rather than the artists, the individuals who are creating the activation. So, that way our program, is different or slightly different from the typical arts program available out there.
Talking with Meena from the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department here for the City of Minneapolis, talking about artists, artwork, everything that you can do, these beautiful cultural districts that I think are important because they're rich with cultural identity. I think this is super, super cool that we are identifying and classifying those in the City of Minneapolis. And one of the things, Meena, you talked about some of the opportunities, like describe more about some of these programs that people can apply for, because when I hear that, I hear dollars, right? There's there's money involved in that, right? So kind of talk about some of these programs that people can apply for.
Yeah, so through this Cultural Districts Arts Fund, we have 3 different programs available. All programs are currently taking applications on our website, and the deadline is August 9th.
And you guys extended that too, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And so within the funding available, we have 3 programs, and I'll go over each program. So the first program is Cultural Districts Ambassador Program. We want to, name one ambassador per district. Again, there are 7 districts. So there will be 7 ambassadors. One ambassador will work in one cultural district, and work closely with the communities. So this individual, will work with the local businesses, cultural venues, different organizations of that area, and be also connected with my department. So the roles and responsibilities of this ambassador will be to organize, facilitate, and host quarterly gatherings within the district. These gatherings will include artists, different community advocates, people who want to support art in that community, cultural organizations, different cultural spaces, as well as any affinity groups. So this ambassador will, bring all of them together and discuss any common issues as well as opportunities, and then connect with Arts and Cultural Affairs Department to share those opportunities and help us create a shared goal of fostering community through arts and culture. So this is really the main responsibility of the ambassador program, ambassadors, and we will be awarding $15,000 to each ambassador. And again, the ambassadors will also meet with other ambassadors. So it's not that, they will be working just within their community. They will have opportunity to meet with other 6 ambassadors, learn how other cultural districts are identifying different issues and opportunities, and, figuring out a way of creating a cohesive vision for their districts, and then together as a cohort for our city. So that's essentially, what we are expecting an ambassador to propose. And the application is quite simple. So there are, really 4 different questions that you need to answer. But we are looking for, individuals or representatives from the organizations who have vision for their district. So come tell us how it can be better. Come tell where, city and particularly our department can step in and create more opportunities.
That's dope.
Then the second
question for you. So is
Yes.
is the award, is that only for the ambassador, or do they also have to use that towards putting the event
Good
together?
question.
So the $15,000 can be a mix of both. We definitely want the person to pay themselves. We are looking at the whole responsibility as, on an average, someone is spending about 20 hours a month in, developing these gatherings. And again, these gatherings can be very creative. Because it's arts and cultural, ambassador. I'm sure there will be, some activation, some creative ways of coming together. So the $15,000 will fund, both the opportunity to bring people together as well as their time going towards convening these gatherings and connecting with the department.
Okay.
And the term is 1 year. So,
Mm.
there will be 3 or 4 times when they will create these opportunities for people to come together or bring the thought leaders from that creative district and convene a gathering. By the time the term is over, we will have the next round of ambassadors selected. So there will be, some communication between the next ambassador who is going to represent that particular cultural district. So that's how we are envisioning this program to cultivate and, be a pipeline for, thoughts and vision to be constantly connected with all the efforts that my department is going to put in.
No, that's beautiful. And again, Minneapolis, we're talking with Meena from the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs, talking about programs that you can apply for, up to 15,000 for the Cultural District Ambassador Program. And Meena, there's two more that I really want you to get to. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I want you to kind of really
Okay.
dig into these because these are something that, I'm not artistic, but I know some people who would really do well in these programs. So talk about two more that I really want you to kind of dig into.
Yes. So the next two programs are pop-up art and culture activation. And the third program is festivals and cultural spaces activation program. They are a little bit similar in terms of the eligibility and as well as how we look at it. So the major difference is pop-up art activation program gives $5,000 award and we have 5 awards per district. So that's total $25,000 coming to each cultural district. And through festivals and cultural spaces activation program, we are awarding 3 to 5 awards per district, and you can ask up to $16,700, dollars per proposal. So if you have a smaller idea in mind, let's say you are just going to do a one-time, very creative block party, or maybe a music performance, then I would suggest apply for a pop-up art activation program because you can get $5,000 and you can, create one nice event out of it. If you are thinking of creating a series of events or activating a big place like a plaza, close down the street and have a celebration over there, or host a series of arts educational events. Those larger programs or a series of, events should apply for festivals and cultural spaces activation program, where you can ask for more dollars. So it's, almost 3 times the pop-up art award. And we have set aside $50,000 per district. So from that, we are hoping to give 3 to 5 awards where cultural festivals or innovative art space activation programs can be funded. So that's how, the cheat sheet is one person really leading a big dream for the district, should apply for ambassador program. And if you are thinking of smaller activation, look into pop-up art activation for $5,000. And if you are an organization or a group of artists, you don't need to be registered as a business. You could be just coming together as a collective of artists and creating a series of events. Then apply for the festivals and cultural spaces program, which is going to be up to $16,700 per proposal.
We are talking
And again, the deadline for all of these programs is August 9. Application closes at 4:30 in the afternoon.
This is beautiful because
Yes.
there's a lot of things that you can be really creative, Kim, with
Hmm.
these funds,
I
right?
was thinking I'm gonna have to apply.
Man, like this festival and cultural space activation
Mm-hmm.
program, like you
Mm-hmm.
can just do a lot of different things
Right.
with this
Yes,
money,
for the
right?
community, it would be so
So
Yes,
awesome.
you can create. new works of theater, dance, music. Think of very innovative ways. Something that has
Yeah.
not been done before.
Right.
Because there are multiple awards, you are not competing for just one award.
Okay.
There is, possibilities endless in some
Wow.
ways.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. That
Mhm.
there's multiple people in districts. A lot of times in our community, we are all trying to eat off the same plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
sometimes that's hard, and it makes it competitive, and it could cause hard feelings a lot of times. I think that happens quite a bit. And with this, one of the things I think is important, and you talked about it, Meena, is that like there's just multiple awards for these districts, and you look at some of these districts. I mean, they just got a bunch of history
Right.
baked into
Oh
their
my God.
DNA, right?
Yes. So I do have a question. Do you have to apply, or are you only able to apply for the district that you live in?
Good question.
Yes. So we are suggesting that you should have authentic connections with a district.
Okay.
So the easiest way of creating an authentic connection is to live there or work there.
Okay.
If you qualify for that, you are by default, eligible to apply. Sometimes people live in St. Paul or in other, suburbs, and they have very close connection with the cultures and the languages that are being spoken. So in that case, we want you to make sure that your event or the activation is happening within the district, or within that 5 block radius. And you are inviting the community, because these are all walkable communities.
Mhm.
Create the activation in that area so people can walk in and enjoy and then go home or go back to their work. So those are the ways, we want the grassroots level efforts that are already happening in the district to get funded. So again, there is no restriction on that you have to live in there. You could be working there. You could have very close ties to the communities and have avenues to present your work in and around the district.
Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's beautiful.
Yes.
And
I want to add something else because I'm
absolutely.
getting that question quite a bit over emails. Um, so feel free to apply for all these three programs. You don't have to just stick to one.
Oh,
If you have capacity, mainly organizations who have big dreams, they can
Yeah.
apply for multiple programs. So
okay.
there is no restriction on how many programs you can apply. We just want to make sure that you have capacity to pull off everything, all the funding that you're going to receive.
Mhm.
And of course, our goal is to expand the dollars. So we will, keep eye on making sure, everybody gets a little bit. But feel free to bring your ideas. Apply for all three programs if you want.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
because I can see like you can get over $30,000 for these programs if you got multiple awards, right? I mean, you could do a
Mhm.
lot with that in the
Mhm.
community, and especially just for the people.
Right.
And Mina, I love it. And as we run up against the clock, like give people the information on how they can apply. We've got a couple minutes left in this show.
Yes, the best way to find the application is to go on mplsartsandculture.org. So spell out AND. So it will be mplsartand culture.org. Over there, you will, go to the tab of the programming. You will find details about all three programs. Download the application question so you can get ready with your application. And you will also find the application button on our website. And if you have any questions, you can find us on Facebook. Our handle is MPLS Arts Culture. You can also email us, mplsaca @ minneapolismn.gov, and send us any questions. We are here to help you with any technical and eligibility questions.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like,
Yes.
listen, like this was really, really interesting, and I hope people
Mhm.
really tuned in to all of this information. I mean, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. First
Absolutely.
time guest, we got to have you back, man, and maybe give some results or like there's some data
Oh,
on,
that would be
yeah, like
awesome.
all the stuff that was happening in the city. I think that'd be pretty dope. So,
Mhm.
thank you for coming
That would
and
be
joining us
great. I
today.
would That would be great. I would like to come and tell about all the new events and performances
Yeah.
that are being funded through this program. So I hope to come back again soon.
Awesome.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you, Meena. That
Thank
was
you,
good.
Meena.
Yeah, like that's a lot of jewels, Minneapolis, man.
It
Like you can
was.
Kim, you can get some money to do some really creative things out
Events,
here for the
yes,
community,
because I
arts.
always have things in my mind that I'm like, "Oh, why we don't do this or that?" And
Man,
I know a lot of time funding, stops it. So,
facts. Like you
mhm.
need money to do things like
Mhm.
that, right?
Yep,
And the
yep.
question that you asked was really good. Like, this is money you can pay yourself, but then like you can like build out what you want to do with that,
Right.
right? And you can
Mhm.
use that money. So
Absolutely.
super important. Hey, y'all, listen, one thing I want to just really, I forgot to, I didn't have a lot of time to give a lot of updates, but it is still Black Business Week, y'all. July
Yes.
22nd to the 28th. There was a beautiful kickoff on Monday. There is events happening everywhere in the city this entire week, y'all. You can do career
Mhm.
networking. You can do any type of pop-up tours. You can have a panel discussion. There's pop-up markets, these vendors.
Yes.
Just a beautiful thing, Minneapolis.
Mhm.
Please support
Get
our local
out.
small businesses. Go outside.
Yes.
Go outside, y'all.
I think Imma get out. Y'all may
Yeah,
just
you
see me there. Come
always out.
here.
What you talking about?
Usually when it's working, but
Yeah,
as
okay.
long as I'm getting paid for it, I'm
I
outside.
heard that. See that? Hey, entrepreneur already. We got to get Kim on these panels, man. So because you got
Please,
game. Yeah,
yes.
you got a
Hey,
lot of
I would
game.
love to. Keep me in mind.
Absolutely, y'all. Kim, it's always good to see you,
You
sister.
as well. I appreciate you for allowing me to ride shotgun
Man,
today.
you're my partner. What you
You
talking
in
about?
crime.
Yeah. Come on now.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Anthony. Great show today.
Thank you. Thank you, sister.
Yes. Twin Cities, we're gonna get back into the music. Of course, Walter Q. Bear Bank should be over there.
Yeah, Brookdale
Yeah,
somewhere.
Brookdale
Probably
Health.
getting his back cracked or something over there. He getting some perks
Oh,
over
you know
there.
he's getting perks. He
Yeah.
always has the plug.
Yeah,
If you
always.
always, if you need to know about anything, make
Call
sure you
him.
call Walter Q. Bear Banks. That's my dude. All right, Twin Cities, we're gonna give you back to the music.